In this video, we're going to be watching the viral clip that's going around of the pastor who scammed $1.3 million from his followers, and we're going to hear his excuse as to why he did it. Now, I do apologize in advance. The audio, I could not find the correct video or the full length clip anyway, so this is the best I could do, and the audio from this is a little quiet. So I hope you guys will be able to hear it. I turned it up as best as I could, but let's get into it.
To really just take some things head on. I'm not reading from a script, and I didn't prepare any notes like I normally do. And I was asking the Lord what He wanted me to say, and He said, just let me speak through you. So let me just come out first and foremost by saying that Caitlin and I are being charged in a civil charge from the Colorado Securities and Exchange Commission for basically selling millions of dollars worth of cryptocurrency that is deemed worthless by the state.
I love how he leads off by saying that the Lord is speaking through him in all this. And so this is going to be a recurring theme. You'll see that it was the Lord that told him to do everything that he's done. And it's just so unfortunate because it's just none of this aligns with anything that is taught in Christianity. It blows my mind that the people who fell for it are still believing him in all this. That's what actually blows my mind, is that they're thinking this is actually something that God wanted to have happen. He wanted to scam people.
Now, the reason that they're saying that it's worthless is because there is no exit for people who have bought. So everyone that's watching this, who has put money into this, who wanted to take money out, you've been unable to do that. We launched an exchange. The exchange technology failed. Things went downhill, and from that point forward, we've just been waiting on the Lord, literally for a miracle.
And now, not only is it was the Lord who told him to do it, but then the exchange failed. And it's like, well, that's not quite accurate. It's not necessarily the exchange failed, it's that you exited with all the money. And so you wiped out the liquidity. You are the reason that it failed, if you even want to call it a failure. It's you wiped out the value of it and trapped all the people who had invested in it. The definition of a crypto scam, the ones that we've been seeing for a while now. Like, we've seen this time and time again. You saying that the God told you to do it isn't going to change the fact that this is a scam.
So the charges are that Caitlin and I pocketed $1.3 million, and I just want to come out and say that those charges are true. So there's been $1.3 million that's been taken out of, I think it was a total of $3.4 million. But out of that 1.3, $500,000 went to the IRS, and a few $100,000 went to a home remodel that the Lord told us to do.
This is so ridiculous. He even admits, he even admits to that money. Like, you actually just can't make this up. I think he's actually twisted it in his mind, either that or he's hoping that people, if he says it enough that the Lord told him to do it, the Lord told him to do it, that people will say, oh, yeah, maybe he's not lying after all. Like, I wish people would open their eyes to be able to see when they're being exploited. It is just so unfortunate that in today's day and age, people just allow themselves to be just absolutely taken as a fool by all this.
And so I don't want to try to mince words or try to escape, but I want to, if I can, just communicate to your heart to heart and tell you how we got here. And it wasn't just like we had $1 million sitting there and we decided to go crazy with it. So how this whole thing started is the Lord told us.
No, you did have all the money sitting there, and you did decide to go crazy with it. The Lord isn't going to tell you to do a remodel on your house with money that is taken from people that have invested in you as a pastor. What? Like, where's the continuity in all this? Please show me how these dots connect. Cuz right now these dots are all over the place and they don't connect. They just keep running through each other. There's so many different things where I'm like, in what way is this making sense? In whose mind? Besides, well, it has to be in somebody's, because the people who bought into it are still buying into it.
In 21 to walk away from our marketing company, and we have had a lot of success raising millions of dollars for different clients. And he said, I'm going to do a new thing. And then he took us into this cryptocurrency. It was a different cryptocurrency other than index coin at the time. Well, that cryptocurrency turned out to be a scam. It basically put it.
I love how he's saying that the Lord told him to stop his successful business on top of what he was doing for ministry. I'm assuming he was a minister at the time, to then pursue crypto, and then it turned out to be a scam. A big YouTuber I watch made the point, I don't even think he's a Christian, and he was like, isn't God supposed to be omniscient? Why would he tell you to go into a crypto that was a scam? And I'm like, he's not wrong. Even somebody who's not a Christian is able to see that this whole thing is just fishy from the get-go. None of it makes any sense. Tell me where in the Bible we're able to find any of these points that God has told anybody to pursue something like this, to scam people out of a bunch of money and then claim it was God. It's just so unfortunate.
Best way I can describe it. And I said, Lord, you told me to do this. Now there's people involved in this. What do you want me to do? And the Lord said, I want you to build this the way that should be done. And so that original cryptocurrency was already overvalued by 4 times. And so the people who bought this, they were already basically 4x leveraged on this. And so the Lord says, give that to them, but also give them a 10x. So if someone bought $1,000 worth of index coin, we were basically give them the index amount of $10,000. So
Yeah, even him explaining this just screams scam. You can't just add value to something. You can't just say, oh, now it's 10x instead of 4x because we said so. I mean, as much as the US government likes to do that today they just keep printing money thinking that infinite money equals infinite value. That's not how it works. Things have value because they are finite. If you just keep printing more and more, naturally the value of it goes down. Same there. You can't just hype something up to a certain point and just call it good. Because if nobody's going to buy at that point, then it's not deemed that valuable. It's just ridiculous.
10x on top of it. And I'm like, well, where's this liquidity going to come from? And the Lord says, trust me. So that's fine. So we keep moving along. God keeps confirming. God keeps showing up. God keeps opening doors. We're not even marketing this thing. People are telling people, and it just comes in. And a lot of you were there from the very beginning, and you'll be able to relate to this. Well, as money is coming in, we would be sowing it. And at first it was hundreds of dollars and thousands.
I love how he says, as money's coming in, we're sowing it. Meaning, we're getting out. Oh, my word. I mean, I've already said it multiple times, but it actually just blows my mind how people can just fall for this stuff. And how they are just, well, for one, they're using Christianity as a scapegoat to try and get away with the crypto scam. I mean, there's no other way to address it. This is a crypto scam through and through. We've seen it so many times that this is like the same characteristics of every other one. So I don't know in what way you thought you would be able to get away with this. And second of all, it's a shame that they're saying that God was the one who did this, because that can lead people to think that it's God who wants people to be miserable, which is the exact opposite of what is taught in the Bible.
Of dollars, then tens of thousands of dollars, and we have records to prove all this. And then as we're sowing all this money and paying for developers and everything else, we run out of money, and we got $300 to our name. And the Lord appears to me in a dream, and he says, I want you to sow $100,000. And I said, I'll do it, but I don't have it. And then that night, there's a gentleman that actually came in for $100,000. The next day, he changed his mind and came in for $200,000. And so we sowed $100,000 of that. And then from that point forward, things really started escalating, and we just continued to sow heavy amounts. Well, when we launched the exchange, I believe we did a $100,000 seed into one ministry and another $25,000 Bitcoin seed into another, and trusting that the Lord was going to do this. And
again, here we go with the trusting the Lord is going to do this. As if God doesn't already see what's going on here.
Up until this point, we had been sowing hundreds of thousands of dollars in US dollars. We've been giving people a multiple of 10 on anything they came in for. The Lord also told us to sow into the families of index coins. So if anybody came in for $1 or more, we automatically sowed 10,000 coins into them. And on top of that, we sowed an additional huge amount of coins into various ministries. It was all in all, you guys, we're looking at about $300 million worth of coins that were sown before the exchange went live. So I just want
Here we go with the arbitrary number of $300 million worth of coins. This is what I'm saying. Like, no, it's not worth $300 million because there's not $300 million worth of buy-ins in there. They just kept marking the price up artificially, hoping that people would buy in to then flush out, to have that liquidity to absorb their sell orders as it comes crashing down. That is what happened with this. And I mean, he goes on from here to basically explain that it was God's doing in all of this. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. It's not God. It's them. It's a scam. That's all there is to it. It's so unfortunate that we have people like that nowadays just giving Christianity a bad rap, because this is the exact opposite of what God has called us to do. And I'm not looking forward to seeing what this man will have to give an account for. I'll just put it that way. I hope you guys enjoyed. This one was kind of fun. I've seen so many clips going around online of this. I was like, I have to do a video because it's so absurd to me how people think they can still get away with this, even if they're like, oh, well, it was God that told me to do it, so it should be okay, right? No. No, this is not how miracles work. They don't work by undermining people. It's something supernatural. Like, even in that regard, him claiming it to be a miracle or something like that, it's no. And tell me in what way any of this is a miracle when it's just a complete and utter scam. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and comment down below what you think of this whole fiasco, this whole unfortunate fiasco, and hope to see you guys around. Peace.